Hey, what's up, guys? Thank you for tuning in. My name is Keenan.
And I'm Caleb.
Thank you guys for everybody who entered the C-Stand giveaway from the last video. We are stoked to be doing the giveaway. Somewhere in this video are the winners. One winner, maybe two, maybe three, who knows? Throughout this video, somewhere kind of just sprinkled in. You'll have to watch the video and find out. Make sure to give Savage some love, give them a shout out, thank them for doing the C-Stand giveaway, and we hope to do a bunch more of these in the future, so stay tuned and keep watching the channel. So we asked you guys to submit some questions on the YouTube community channel, on the latest YouTube video, and on Instagram too. So we're gonna be fielding and digging through all of those questions. Let us know if you guys like it, if it was helpful, and let's get into it.
Let's do it.
Why did you guys start a YouTube channel? Well, big reason, couple of reasons. We started a YouTube channel as a creative outlet for us to be able to create content and practice what we are continually doing. And another big area is we feel that we have kind of a unique perspective of, having a team, having a production company first before we have a YouTube channel.
Or even just being kind of a group of filmmakers and not just a solo freelancer. And there's nothing wrong with that, but it didn't seem like there was as much of that on the YouTube community. And I know that there are some channels similar to ours, but we kind of saw an opportunity there. And a big point to what Keenan said is the opportunity to have to write something down and re-explain it in a video form and talk about it more. It's a good way to force yourself to learn more about something, whether it's lighting or it's about equipment or our process. It makes you think about those things a lot more. So it's a really great learning opportunity for us, I think. And it seemed like the fun thing to do. So
yeah, it's cool to see it grow and engagement with YouTube, other YouTube creators and just subscribers. So if you guys like it, let us know and we'll keep doing it.
Yep, we love it. We'd love to see it grow.
File structure and project workflow.
I will say, we'll touch on it real quick. When we started,
oh no,
yeah, this is bad, but file structure is difficult. When we started, and it was me and Keenan, our projects,
it was not good.
It was very bad. It was a mess. When stuff would get unlinked, it was a nightmare trying to find it. And once we took the time to sit down and figure out this is how we're going to set up projects, this is the hierarchy on how everything lays out, and figuring out a system, it made us so much more efficient. Before we did that, we were wasting so much time looking for clips, trying to find stuff, trying to remember where we put it. The basic file hierarchy of how we set up our projects is we set them up in just years. So 2018, 2019, 2020, and then we have the projects in there. Within each project, we have the same folders for every project. So it's project files, footage, sound, which includes dialogue, sound effects, and music. And then we have graphics folders. So that's anything like logo stings or AIs or any type of graphic assets. And then we have an exports folder. We won't dive in too much on that. But figuring out a file organization system is essential because you will waste an extreme amount of time if you don't have something figured out.
Here's another one quick. How did you handle moving from freelance to a full team and kind of just transition from, and I'll change from full team to freelance. It's, for us, it was taking a bigger part of that creative process. When we were just being hired by, some, whether it was a company or an agency that was hiring us to do a video, they were hiring us and they were saying, here's the idea, you guys film it and edit it. But really pushing ourselves and pushing those companies to be a part of that creative process helped give us more time, and which obviously meant a bigger part of the project and a bigger pay because of that. We were taking a bigger piece of the involvement. So, that was kind of a way that we really were able to bring on more people. And
another big thing too is going from freelance to full team. I know a lot of, and when we started, when it was me and Keenan, what we were getting paid from month to month varied all over the place. And from quarter to quarter, we had no consistency when it came to bringing it in. It was kind of getting split from project to project, depending on how much was in the bank account. And I think trying to make it a priority to transition eventually to a consistent paycheck every month, even if that starts off really small. And for us, it started off really small for everyone, where we weren't making a huge salary, but it was that consistency of the same payment every month and getting on a salary basis was really important, because then we could start calculating, how much we could be investing in equipment. And especially when we moved into a space when we knew we had to pay a certain amount every month, and those expenses. I think that's a really important thing if you plan to add people to your team and grow your team at all, is switching over from sort of splitting projects to getting onto a salary basis.
Yeah, just a consistent income that you can count on, and it's not going to change, and you don't have to, 1 month everybody's, you're doing really well, and then the next month, you're expecting money and it doesn't come in because they're late or they have different terms. So having that consistency of a salary, even if it's small, is important just for your own sanity, because
it's stressful if doing it the other way. It can get stressful because you have your highs and your lows, and 1 month you're feeling amazing and the next month you've got a pit in your stomach. So
yeah,
for your own mental health, I would suggest that.
For your health.
Yeah.
There was some questions on profit splitting and how we handle that stuff, and so we'll cover that real quick. Is everybody at Threefold is on a salary. Threefold offers some benefits, and basically Threefold just collects all of it, and it's kind of distributed out, and there is some profit sharing, profit splitting kind of at the end of the year and halfway through the year. So it's a Threefold first type of thing, and then it gets divvied out from there.
So another question we got is, what is your guys' overhead working out of South Dakota? Well, first of all, we're in North Dakota. So in North Dakota, I think it's it's pretty obvious. We don't have the living expenses of some places, but it's not as low as some places in the country either. For us personally, and all 5 of us here, housing it's not as crazy some places, but we've looked at other places and it's amazing how much cheaper you can get a house in other places. And I know that that's not direct operating costs with Threefold, but it's kind of living costs in general. So there definitely are things. It's not as cheap as some people might imagine. It's kind of in the middle of the road, I would say.
Yeah, there's a lot of areas that make it a lot easier and a lot more affordable, but we hit the middle of the road for a lot of different areas. So hey guys, this is future Keenan coming to you with the announcement of the first winner of the Savage C-Stand giveaway, and we're just doing it this way because we don't want people to try and cheat the system and just scrub through the video only looking for the giveaway sections. So I'm taking over Keenan's body to make this first announcement. And if you're one of the first people here, do us a favor. We just kind of want to mess with people. Leave some fake time codes as comments so that if people are looking for those sections, they click them and they have to jump around the video because it's not the right time code where we're doing this, because it's kind of a secret. So we just want to have a little fun with it. But anyways, our first winner, and I'm so sorry, I'm probably going to say your name wrong. I tried very hard. But our first winner is Kareem Abulaban. Sorry, I said it wrong. I'm sure I did, but I tried. Congratulations, and stay tuned for the second winner. Did you guys see a major shift in your approach working with clients? How has the pandemic impacted your business? So yeah, it definitely impacted our business, and something that we were fortunate to do, and kind of a decision that we made early, and it was partially based on our location being in North Dakota. We have 5-6 months of winter. Having a studio space that we're in now that we could use as a winter asset and be able to film all year and create sets and build out different projects right here in the studio. Once COVID hit, we were fortunate to have this space because now it's a space that we totally control and it's just our same team that's coming in. And so we were still able to do product videos and some explainer videos and some smaller, extremely controlled videos right here without having to go out.
Yeah, thankfully we were pretty fortunate, and I know that a lot of businesses have been hit pretty hard. But there's a lot of businesses that still needed to get their message out there. And when we first built the studio, when we moved into the space, we weren't doing that much in the studio. And so right away it was hard because it was kind of a new thing for us. And I think over the last 5 years, we've worked more and more towards studio shoots, whether that's product type videos, or we can do interviews here, or building sets. Really, it's limitless. So it's kind of been built up to this point that we were really in a unique situation. So we were pretty lucky in that sense.
Yeah,
fortunate.
And starting to get more of the studio work was pretty deliberate in kind of the sense that people weren't hiring us for studio work because they didn't really know that we did a lot of it. So it was shortly after Zach and Adam joined that we started to go, okay, we need to start creating more studio work so people can see what we're capable of doing and what we're able to do in the studio. And every year that kind of portfolio of studio work has grown.
Are you hiring? Are we hiring? We're always looking for new people, but we were never in a rush to begin with, and working with people that you get along with and that everyone can work well together with is a really important thing. And so we always take that really seriously and put a lot of thought into it.
How many people are on your team? There are 5 of us right now. So
5 full-times, yeah.
5 full-time. So what does your logo symbolize? So Threefold is the brackets around it kind of represent framing and that. And so the idea behind the name Threefold was when we started, we didn't want to just be a production company that got hired by agencies and other companies to show up with cameras and film. We wanted to be a really big part of the creative process and do the script writing and the creative and the storyboard. And so that's where the name Threefold came in, of the pre-production, the production, and the post-production. We wanted to do the creative on the projects that we were working on. We wanted to film them, and we wanted to edit them. We wanted to be a part of the whole process and not just one piece of it or a couple pieces of it. Favorite lighting rig?
I'll hit on a few questions. I know someone asked lighting brand. That's the next question too. We're big fans of Aperture. We've had their lights since the Amarans, and we've had discussions before on the pros and cons of LED, and that's obviously Aperture's big thing. We had a plasma light for a while and didn't have the greatest experience with it. I would have to say Aperture lights. It's amazing to see how far they've come and how much they listen to their customers and how engaged they are with their customers, which is amazing because there's a lot of companies that aren't that way. And so favorite lighting rig, that's tough. You got to use something different all the time. But I would say the most common thing, we do a lot of double, triple diffusing when we're doing interviews. It's pretty basic, not too exciting. A lot of times that's our 300D, that's our workhorse.
A minimal lighting kit to improve my video calls. What do you recommend?
I'll touch on this one. Depending, I've seen a lot of people do ring lights, and ring lights can look nice, but if you're a dude, I think sometimes they kind of come off a little odd looking. They just seem
sometimes they're still better than nothing.
Yes, they're better than nothing. If you have nothing, you can get ring lights, LED ring lights for dirt cheap. I would save the ring lights for if you're doing makeup tutorials or something like that. But if you're doing a video call, I don't know if I'd do it. They're better than nothing again. You can't go wrong. LED lights, there's so many options on Amazon now, and the amount of companies and how good LED lighting has gotten is incredible.
I know they make some ring lights and some other ones that can clamp onto a laptop or some other smaller type things.
Maybe we'll throw some good light ideas, suggestions in the description, some real budget-friendly ones.
Yeah.
That might be easier. Can't think of any off the top of my head, but I've seen a lot of great ones. So
yeah. Will you sell merchandise? Yes, we are planning to open up a Threefold shop when we hit 10,000 subscribers, and sell some shirts that look like this or like that, along with some stickers or hats or maybe koozies.
If you have some ideas, post them in the comments. Let us know. What kind of merch would you guys want to see? What would you buy? Let us know what you think. We'd love to hear you guys' thoughts. Another question, where do you guys commission your apparel? We've done a handful of it out of the cities. Can't remember where.
A couple different places. So these are next level shirts. They're like a little tiny bit slimmer and a little bit taller. We're both a little bit taller. Our whole team is too. So they're not like the boxy standard shirts that you always get for free, but they're everybody that gets them, they're always their favorite shirt. So, and you can hold us to that. Would you recommend getting into the production industry if you want to get rich? I wouldn't recommend doing anything if the only goal is getting rich, and especially not the production industry. There's just too much money to spend on equipment. Who do those North Dakotans think they are? A small production company.
There you go. That's who we think we are, I guess.
With a YouTube channel. Do you guys outsource any of your production process, editing, animation, graphics, voiceover, script, or is it all in-house? Most of it's here. Voiceover, we don't do. We find the right person.
None of us are good
job.
Voiceover artists.
Yeah,
you would not want us in your video if you were hiring us. So
no one would pay us for that.
Thankfully, one thing with voiceovers, and one thing we started doing right away, I'll make it quick, but as you build a company and you kind of become more established, you get a lot of voiceover artists that will email us all the time. And every time we get those, we input it into a catalog. So we have a full list of different voiceover actors, voice actors. And it makes, when we do need a voiceover, finding someone really easy because we have that full catalog. So that's kind of one thing that we do for voice actors. We do most of it in-house. We did actually a recent video where it required some pretty intensive 3D water simulations, and we hired InLight VFX for that, and he killed it. For the rest of the stuff, the editing and shooting and all that kind of stuff, it's usually done in-house.
How do you guys make time to do the work, but also create outside of work, passion projects, etc.? So, this is kind of something that Caleb and I were really adamant about when we started was, and I know there's still, I'm sure there's still a lot of people like this, but in our area, there was a lot of people that really were begrudging of commercial work, and they used commercial work as kind of a means to pay for their passion projects and everything. We took kind of the opposite approach, and we really wanted to create awesome commercial work that got us excited, that we had a lot of fun with, be able to work with clients that had a ton of fun, and allowed us a lot of creative freedom to create whatever we kind of had a vision for, and collaboratively with the client. So, we wanted the work that we were doing to be a passion project, and to get our team excited about it and excited about the projects, and not just do really boring stuff that just pays the bills so that we can go film something else. The YouTube channel is also kind of a passion project because it gives us an opportunity to just create without a lot of outside input, and kind of create whatever we want to. And, there's still, Zach made a short film called Ham. It's about a monkey that gets sent to space. And Joel and his wife came out with an album. I was going to say a track, and it's more than a track. It's multiple tracks. And Zach and him are kind of working on a music video right now, and that's in the works. So, there still are passion projects outside of the stuff that we do, but to kind of tie it all together was, we wanted to make the work exciting and not just...
Yeah. And it is worth noting, not every project's going to be riveting and exciting, but we definitely approached it with the perspective that we weren't doing it to try to make money and just make a living, but we saw the potential to do really cool ads really cool videos that we could get excited for companies and be really proud of. And so that's kind of been our big thing.
All right, now for the second winner of the Savage C-Stand giveaway. We are excited. Tyler Desiderio. Also not 100% confident in that pronunciation. But congratulations, both of you. And both of you that won, go ahead and go to our latest community post on the Threefold community channel and leave us your email there, and we will get a hold of you on how to get your free Savage C-Stand. We are stoked to hook you guys up. Congratulations. Okay, back to the video. How do you approach pricing? We tell everybody it's a project by project basis, because every project is so different. Every job and every, all the involvement is so different. So, we base a lot of our stuff on advertising industry, rates and, hourly editing rates or post-production rates. And some of that stuff's available online. Another big piece of it is, after a little bit of time, after we had proved ourselves, is the creative side of things. So coming up with the script and the storyboard and kind of the overall concept is another big piece of that I think it's different for every project and the amount of time that you spend on it. So
yeah. And one good piece of advice we were always pushing to raise our prices. And pricing is always an awkward thing when you're talking with clients and you're trying to pitch them, and being afraid that you're going to charge too much and scare the client away. But one good piece of advice someone gave us once was, if you're not losing a percentage of your jobs, you're not charging enough. And it's not that you want to turn people away necessarily, but you also need to reach a point where you can make a livable salary for, everyone can be making livable salaries, and being able to do it and you're not starving. Because a business, there's a lot of expenses, and especially once you start to grow it, things like insurance and benefits and, just the operating costs on a monthly basis get expensive. And so you do need to think about how and what that price is and where you need to be at for the future. It's okay to take hits right away, but eventually you need to be charging enough that you can make a livable salary off of it, really. You have to think about your time and value your time, because there's only so much time in a day and there's only so much time that a team has. And by saying yes to everything, it's only, overwhelming and not fair to the client, because, we're not prioritizing their project and everything that they have going on. So, be willing to lose a couple projects. So. Yeah. And I think it's okay to have open conversations with your clients about pricing too. It's okay to ask for budgets and stuff like that. And, we've had a lot of clients, and especially if they're a client you want to work with and there's a good relationship there. We've had clients that we've given them a budget and they just come back very frank and honest and say, this is more than we were hoping to, spend. And at that point, you kind of have the flexibility to choose whether the project's worth taking on still or not. But yeah, my thing is, you should always be pushing your prices up. In our industry, where there's a lot of people, a lot of times it's a competition to the bottom, and everyone's underbidding each other to try to get the job. And it really only hurts everyone in the industry, and it makes it harder for everyone in the industry to make a living. Charge what you're worth. And especially as you gain more experience, especially as you get older, the longer you're in the industry, you should be charging and upping your rates every year, because you're a more skilled individual.
What does a 5-year plan look like for Threefold? Well,
get some cool jobs.
Yeah, a big thing for us has always been, like Caleb mentioned before, was having a really tight knit team, and our goal from when we started was having a 10-15 person production company that there's a little bit less hat juggling of, you're handling a lot of different things. And as you grow, we would be able to hire people in more specialty areas. So having a full-time animator and a full-time audio engineer, a full-time, couple full-time editors, and a really tight-knit team of people that, work together a lot on different projects and creating projects in the studio and in here in North Dakota.
Yeah, and that's probably a little beyond 5 years too. That's really we never started to try to grow it as big as possible. Like Keenan said, the end goal was always just to have a tight-knit team, really specialized team.
I think that about wraps up
think it does.
all the questions. So if we missed something that you left, or if there's something that we didn't cover and you guys wanted to do another Q&A video, leave those questions. We've asked you to leave like 30 things in the comments, so there should be at least 1,000 comments when this video gets published. I think that's reasonable. So thanks for tuning in. We hope you guys enjoyed this. We hope this was helpful in giving you guys a little insight on Threefold, how we got started, that Caleb and I are brothers.
Yeah, there you go.
Hopefully we didn't blow too many minds with that.
Yeah, and we kind of covered a lot of stuff today, and this video is covering a lot of Q&As because this is our first one. So, you know, if you guys are interested, if this gets a little bit of traction and people actually want to see more of this, we'd love to, you know, dive deeper into certain topics and be able to chat more about specific things like that. So let us know. If you guys want to see more like this, we'd love to hear it, and we'd love to make more like it. So
thanks for tuning in. I'm Keenan.
And I'm Caleb.